Hello, and I hope you have had a fantastic day at school and are ready to learn more about math. This afternoon, we will be learning about how to divide decimals. Now, don't get scared by that. It's really not as hard as it may sound. Dividing decimals is just like dividing whole numbers. The only thing different is that silly little decimal that always seems to get in the way. So let's just dive right in and start working some math. Our first problem is 364 and 2/10 divided by 12. Now this one looks scary because it has a 2-digit divisor. But I'm just going to set it up just like I always set up division problems, with 364 and 2/10 inside and then 12 on the outside. Now, the decimal. This is the first thing I want to deal with because it's the first thing that I tend to forget to do when I get toward the end of the problem. And without that decimal, the entire problem is wrong. So here is what I'm going to want to do. First thing, I'm going to take that decimal and bring it straight up where the answer goes. And then I can do my division problem. I look at 12. How many times can 12 go into 3? Well, I know that 12 is bigger than 3, so 12 cannot go into 3. So I need to look at the next number, 36. 12 goes into 36. Well, I know 10 goes into 30 3 times. So let's try 12 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3. Oh, look! It goes in perfectly. So I know that 12 goes into 36 3 times. Put my 3 above the 6. Subtract 36 because 12 times 3 is 36. 36 minus 36 is 0. Now I look to the next number. I'm going to bring that number straight down. It's how I keep my math problem organized. Keep everything lined up in a row. Now 12 into 4. Well, just like 12 into 3, 4 is too small. So I need to drop down the next number as well, which is 2. 12 into 42. But before I do that, I need to back up because I forgot a step. 12 can't go into 4. So I need to add a 0 in that place. It goes into it 0 times. So I put the 0 in the ones place. Now I can look at 42. 12 into 42. Well, I know that 12 goes into 36 3 times. I wonder, can 12 go into 42 4 times? Let's find out. 12 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 48. Looks like it can't. It's too big. 12 times 4 is more than what I need. So, I'm going to go back down to 3. I'll write a 3 right there and subtract 36. Because 12 times 3 is 36. Now 42 minus 36 is 6. And uh-oh, I'm out of room. What do? There's no more numbers to bring down. And with decimals, we can't have a remainder. It doesn't work that way. So as we've been learning, I can add as many zeros as I want to the end of the problem. So I'm going to add a 0. I'm going to bring that 0 down, and now I have 60. Can 12 go into 60? It can. I know 12 times 4 is 48. If I want to add 12 to that, that would be 60. Just what I need. So 1 more than 4, so this would be equivalent of times 5. So 12 times 5 is 60. I can finish out my problem right here. I have 0 left over, so I know that I have finished my problem. It goes in evenly. So my answer is 30 and 35 hundredths. Now let's try another one. It's about the same, the only difference is instead of a 2-digit number here, we have a 1-digit number. A whole lot easier. So I'm going to set up my math problem. 9 and 12 hundredths divided by 6. 6 goes into 9 one time. So I'm going to subtract the 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. Bring down the 1. 6 into 31. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. I think I still can go higher. 6 times 4 is 24. Can I go higher? 6 times 5 is 30. So yeah, that's close. 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract, I get 1 left over. I'm going to bring the 2 down. Oh, that one's easy. I know 6 goes into 12 2 times. Minus 12, and then I get 0 left over. Now wait, what did I forget to do? That silly little decimal, always being forgotten. Got to bring it straight up. And I have my answer, 1 and 52 hundredths. Let's try another one. We're going to do a few practice problems here, just so you guys get the hang of how this works. I have 385 and 6/10 divided by 8. Another pretty simple one because it only has a 1-digit number right there. 8 goes into 38 4 times because 8 times 4 is 32. Can't go in again, that would make it too big. So 38 minus 32 is 6. Bring down the 5. 8 into 65, well, 9 is too big because 9 times 8 is 72. 8 times 8 is 64, so that one works. Minus 64, subtract, I get 1 left over. Bring the 6 down, and again, I know this one's easy. 8 times 2 is 16. Oops. That's not the number I wanted. I wanted a 2. See, even teachers accidentally write the number wrong sometimes. So let's finish the problem out. Nothing left over. I don't need to add any zeros at the end. I need to bring up that decimal straight up. So my answer is 48 and 2/10. Do another one. Uh-oh, this one, once again, has a 2-digit number there. We have 1 and 728 thousandths divided by 12. Now, don't let this one scare you, because it looks kind of scary if you ask me. But it's actually not that difficult. No, like I've been forgetting to do, I actually remembered I'm going to bring up the decimal first thing, so I don't forget later on. No, 12 can't go into 1. I'm going to put a 0 in the 1's place. So it's 0 and something. 12 goes into 17 one time. Subtract 12, 5. Bring down the 2, 12 into 52. I know that 12 times 4 is 48. So it goes in 4 times minus 48. 52 minus 48 is 4. Bring down the 8. And look, I have my 48 again. I know that it goes in exactly 4 times. So my answer is 144 thousandths. Now this one, you may be wondering why this problem is in the lesson on dividing with decimals when there aren't any decimals. I'll show you. This one is one that might surprise you. We have 62 divided by 8. Well, let's go through my 8 and my multiplication. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56. No, wait, what is 8 times 7? I always forget those, so no one's perfect. But I do know that 8 times 9 is 72. 64 is 8 times 8. Because I'm bad at my 8s, I'll admit it, I am going to do this. I'm going to subtract 8. 64 minus 8 is 56. There I go. 8 times 7 is 56. And that is small enough. Minus 56. This was 7. Subtract, I have 6. And uh-oh, I have a remainder. Like I said, we're not going to work with remainders right now. So here is what I'm going to do. Here is where the decimal comes into play. I'm going to stick a decimal at the end of the whole number, bring it straight up, and add a 0. I'm going to bring the 0 down. 8 into 60. Well, I know we already did that, or close to that, because I have 56 here, and 56 is pretty close to 60. So, must be 7 minus 56. 4 as my answer. And uh-oh, what now? I'm going to add another 0, bring it down, and look, I have a multiple of 8. 8 times 5 is 40. Subtract 40, I get 0. So my answer is 7 75/100. That's where the decimals come into play. Let's try it one more time. There's no decimal, but we have 5 divided by 6. Now, this one is a little trickier, but not really. You guys will get it just fine. Like the last problem, I add a decimal, bring it straight up, add a 0 at the end. Now, 6 times what number is pretty close to 50? Well, 6 times 9 is 54. That's too big, so it must be 6 times 8. And I know 6 times 8 is 48. It rhymes. 6 times 8 is 48. That's how I remember it. I subtract with 2 left over. But with decimals, we can't have remainders. So I'm going to add another 0, bring it down. 6 into 20. Nope, that one does not go in evenly, so I'm going to have to figure out what goes into it that's close to 20. Let's see, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18. That's pretty close. So it must be 3 minus 18. Uh-oh, I'm starting to see a pattern. Add a 0, and what do I have here? I have another 20. I see that if I keep on doing this, I am going to get the same answer every single time. It's always going to end up with a 2 right here. And I drop a 0, so it's a 20. Every single time, I'm going to have a 3 up here. So, in these cases, when we see that the 3 is going to go on forever and ever and ever, I'm going to put a line above it like that, because that line tells me that it repeats. It repeats itself over and over and over. Now you notice I did not put the line over the 8, because the 8 does not repeat. Just the 3's repeat. And it doesn't have to be a 3. It just depends on what number is repeating in the problem. It just happens to be a 3 in this one. Okay, so that is dividing decimals. If you have any questions, please email us or bring them to class tomorrow. Your homework is to solve problems numbers 1 through 9 in your book on page 45. Again, that's numbers 1 through 9 on page 45 in your textbook. We will be going over them tomorrow in class. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a fantastic afternoon. And I will see you tomorrow.